Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. The latest recipient of Meghan's American Riviera Orchard Jams is none other than Garcelle. And from the comments under Garcelle's post, there's clearly a lot of people who are ready for the official launch of American Riviera Orchard. Chrissy Teigen and her husband John Legend spoke to Entertainment Tonight, where she talked about receiving the coveted strawberry jam.
You got one of the coveted American Riviera Orchard jams. How was that?
That sandwich was incredible.
And it's numbered like 1 of 50. I'm gonna keep it in my fridge forever.
I want that exact sandwich again.
Oh, it was pretty epic.
There was an article comparing the rollout of Meghan's jams to Beyonce's Ivy Park box. And I totally agree. It's also interesting to see full-on think pieces from the UK tabloids. I believe this one was from The Telegraph about Meghan's jams. Again, the woman has not launched anything officially. And quite frankly, I don't even think the jam is going to be the highlight when she officially launches her brand. But it's crazy. There was an article from Vulture, and it says, to Markle's credit, this is a nice reminder that launching American Riviera Orchard is less tacky move than her critics would have you believe. Look at the whole damn gift shop apparatus of the firm. They've got more merch than Hard Rock Cafe. And this is true. A lot of royal fans love to talk about Harry and Meghan being grifters, and they're using their royal connections. But the firm has been selling everything from gin, from alcohol, to scarves, to gin, like everything. Everything comes with a price. And I believe you even have to pay to visit Queen Elizabeth's grave. Now, Charles is allowing people to, was it Sandringham or Balmoral? I can't remember which one. You can, for a price, you can go in there and do a tour. So it's interesting when they're constantly criticizing and critiquing Harry and Meghan, who are making their own money, while the firm has been peddling products for years. And a lot of the royal fans will also say, well, you know, it goes to charity. Not all of it. But don't believe me. Go do your research. So not only are some within the US press sort of poking and prodding and making fun of the complete meltdown that some within the UK press have been having, there are some people on social media who are like, okay, what's the big deal? Leave Meghan alone? She's just minding her business.
The royal family is next level petty. I don't even know how to describe what happened with a straight face. A lot of celebrities and influencers were sent the jam ahead of time. They were posting with it, saying it was delicious. So then what does the royal family go and do? They release their own jam. Their own strawberry jam. The official Buckingham Palace shop posted this yesterday with the caption, "Our strawberry preserve is made by using our finest berries and is delicious served in a variety of ways." And then basically posted a video showing us how to use jam in case we weren't aware. Imagine King Charles getting news that Meghan Markle's coming out with a jam and him being like, nope, that won't do. We're coming out with our own. Also props to whoever wrote this headline. Genius. But seriously, please leave poor Meghan alone.
Now, while there were people in the comment section rightfully saying that Charles has been selling jams for quite a while, there have been a lot of people in the comment section saying, well, basically, I didn't even know that they were selling jams. Someone said nobody cared about his jams until Meghan's popped up. Let's be honest. Another commenter said, imagine having a whole monarchy pressed. Go Meghan. And there are others who are wondering who got jam number one. Was it Oprah? Was it Ellen? Inquiring minds would like to know. And as it relates to that commenter that said that the vast majority of people did not know that he sold jams, or nobody cared about his jams until Meghan, this reminded me of something that Queen Auntie said.
I a little bit feel sorry for about one person. I thought about it. There are 3 people, so I'm going to do this in 3 parts. But the first person I really kind of feel sorry for, but not a lot, but like mustard seed much, is Charles. Papa. Because imagine in the entirety of his life that he's waited like 70 plus years, he is a platinum AARP member, to be king, and then the entirety of his whole life, he still has not been the main character. He has been overshadowed by his mother, by his first wife, by his older son, who they're saying you need to abdicate and make him king, by your younger son, who has just said buck the whole system, by the grandkids.
And she's got a point. Leading up to his coronation, a lot of the headlines were concerning if Harry and Meghan would attend. Even now, for the announcement concerning his cancer diagnosis, a lot of the press was surrounding Prince Harry. Will Harry come? Will Harry bring the kids? Will Harry and Meghan come? Oh, Harry's coming. We're tracking his flight. They're at the airport waiting for Harry to come. They're at the gates of the palace trying to capture Harry driving in there. So, yeah. And while the BBC is getting ready to premiere Suits, you have the ITV boss getting the Prime Minister involved in this BBC versus ITV competition. This week, we saw the Duke of Sussex present the prestigious Military Times Soldier of the Year award to Sergeant First Class Elizabeth Marks.
Tonight, I have the distinct honour of presenting this year's Soldier of the Year award. I first met Sergeant First Class Elizabeth Marks at the Invictus Games in Orlando 2016, where I presented her with not one, but 4 gold medals that she'd won in swimming. To me, she epitomises the courage, resilience and determination represented across our service community.
And of course, the UK press had to put a negative spin on even that, because apparently, in the eyes of those at GB News, Prince Harry appears to snub King Charles during his new video appearance. And this snub in question is because Harry did not wear Charles's coronation medal. Insanity. And not only that, but they're still moaning and, whinging about Prince Harry's change of residence for Travelist. What did they really expect?
If you heard a distant, searing screech from across the pond, don't worry, that's just Saltine Island tripping, because apparently they found out that Prince Harry changed his country of residence and his new filing for Travelist. As mostly everyone in the free world knows, Prince Harry has resided in the U.S. for the past 4 years with his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, as well as their 2 kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. And for the most part, anytime he files anything for public record for his businesses and such as Travelist, he has listed his country of residence as the UK. So why are they freaking out so bad over something that would be a natural transition since he stayed in the US for 4 years now? Something as simple as saying the US instead of the UK. Well, let's look at that change of individual persons with significant control details form, shall we? As we can see, company name, Travelist Limited. We're not going to say the company number. Now, details for prior to change. Name, Prince Henry Charles Albert David Duke of Sussex. Date of birth, we know that is in 84. Now, this is the part where I think they're rather salty about. The new details. The country of residence was United States. Check the date that it was filed, though. It was filed on June the 29th, 2023. Jack Royston, what is the significance of that date? Per Jack Royston's, artist formerly known as Twitter page, Prince Harry changed his country of residence in new filing. Harry for years continued to list his country as UK at Company's House, but has now switched to United States, and is backdated to the exact day it was announced. He left Frogmore Cottage. Now think about it. The UK press, the media apparatus that makes up the Royal Rota apparatus, has waxed poetically for months, have been kikiing with glee over that eviction from Frogmore Cottage, and imagining all kind of fanfics where the Sussexes buy a property outside of the Crown Estates where they can properly monitor what is all going on in the House of Sussex should they come to England, and wondering about all kind of houses they could buy or whatnot, and if they should stay in England and when they were going to do it. Only for this whole time, Harry had already marked he had moved to the US from the day that Charles decided he didn't live in the UK any longer. Woo! And they look kind of dumb. Sucks to suck.
We also saw James Holt, the executive director of the Archwell Foundation, joined in conversation with the CEO of The Markup to discuss work around the ethical AI and online systems. As a founding member of the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund, the Archwell Foundation continues to support the next generation of leaders who are pioneering innovation in technology and advocacy to make our online world a more inclusive, safe, and accountable space. Eagle-eyed fans noticed the Archwell merch. I know that there are some people who are excited at the prospect of possibly getting Archwell merch. I genuinely don't think that will ever happen. I think that all of the Archwell merch will be for employees. And in other news, Jamaica is on track to remove King Charles as their head of state by 2025. Now, do you guys think that other Caribbean Commonwealth nations will follow Jamaica's lead? I think in time they all will. This past week, we found out that Kate was appointed a Royal Companion of the Order of the Companions of Honor. Say that 3 times fast. Now, apparently, she is getting this because of her contributions to art, etc. And quickly enough, some people questioned what contributions to art is being referred to, since the Art Room, which was a charity backed by Kate while she was the Duchess of Cambridge, had to close. And that wasn't the only charity that she was patron of that had to close. So people are like, here we go, handing out honors for just existing. There was even an article from The Guardian that went straight into that. And some of the commentary that I've seen on social media, people on Twitter were having a riot with that.
So even The Guardian are trolling the cosplay team, the business of the royal family. The Guardian is one of the most respected international media outlets, full stop. And they're trolling King Charles by saying he was looking for heroes and all he could find, heroes, were members of his own family, Camilla, Kate and William. And the headline actually ends, laugh or cry, you choose. Giving awards to members of your own family is like them cheating in an exam. All they're doing, cheating in an exam, is cheating themselves. Fake awards don't mean anything. Everybody can see right through it. For the people to accept the award, completely offensive, completely out of touch with the UK British public, nonsense. The awards don't mean anything. Kate's got an award for contributions to the artistic community that's previously been given to people like Elton John. Come on. Could you accept an award that was equivalent for the same thing to an award given to Elton John, who in his lifetime has composed and delivered hundreds and hundreds of musical events and tracks, including some for Disney films? Could you really take that award and sleep at night? Well, Kate clearly can.
And speaking of Kate, apparently William and Kate will not be marking their upcoming wedding anniversary publicly with photos. Perhaps all the heat from Photogate leaves them wary to provide public photos that may or may not have been fooled around with. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back there were a slew of articles from the UK tabloids claiming that Harry and Meghan will be moving from Montecito and that their neighbors hate them and they're so fed up of them. And soon after, the fellow who was used as the source, the alleged neighbor, came out and said, well, wait a minute, what's being said in these articles is not what I said. But of course, by then it's too late. And we've seen this happen before. The UK tabloids will talk to someone, they'll take what they say, twist it in a negative spin, and the person will come out and say, that's not a true representation of what I said. But the damage is already done because, of course, the salacious articles moves around the world twice as fast. So Sneha did an interview with Barry, the alleged neighbor. Now it's over 13 minutes, so obviously I can't share all of it, so you can check it out. But it was a very enjoyable and interesting conversation.
Well, first, thank you for finding time to chat with me about something I've been talking a lot about, which is misinformation and media bias. I've been basically relating it to the situation with Meghan and Harry. only because I've been following them and how the press has been vilifying them for so many years. But what your article did show was that the machinery of disinformation, it was incredible.
It was rumored. Rumored is the correct term, because it turns out that when it comes to Harry and Meghan, there's no such thing as accuracy.
No.
It was rumored they were leaving the Santa Barbara area and moving to Malibu.
Okay.
And a British reporter wanted a quote on them. So I said, I don't know. I said, they live off by themselves. I live down the road in a considerably less expensive area, but
Okay.
not as far as local opinion on them. Because we don't ever see them, I think it's pretty much the same as national opinion on them. Some people love them. It's the fairy tale, the prince and the commoner. And some people love that and they love them. That's perfectly fine. Other people, well, they're not impressed by the soap opera, or they're sick of hearing about them. I thought, and I thought it was a pretty harmless statement. I thought it was just the kind of thing anybody might say, just saying, what people feel about them in the area. And then it came out in the papers.
Yeah.
And it was a whole different thing, because it wasn't the real papers. It was the tabloid papers.
Yeah.
And the first paper, the Mirror said, let me get the quote here. Let me read the quote, because I don't want to misquote the people that were misquoting me. They said, exclusive. Exclusive. I told them what anybody could have told them. This is an exclusive. Meghan and Harry close to selling a £11 million home as neighbors are sick of them.
Yeah.
No, not neighbors are sick of hearing about them. Neighbors are sick of them. And the only neighbor mentioned, Barry Marr, me, nobody else. So I thought, well, that was pretty bad. I mean, it's a distinction between this and between being sick of them and being sick of hearing about them. It's a distinction between journalism and whatever this was, right?
Exactly. The language changes everything. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I used the word sick, but that's the only thing that it had in common.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's bad. That's probably the worst quote I've ever had. And I've been misquoted before, but nobody was ever seemed to be doing it deliberately.
Yeah.
But then what happened was the other tabloids around the world started commenting on the Mirror story.
Of course.
And they all took it to their own extremes. I mean, News International wrote, speaking to the Mirror, PR and communication expert Barry Marr, who resides in the same area, revealed, this is a revelation. This isn't just him talking. This I apparently had some kind of esoteric information that I revealed here. Revealed the Sussexes, I can't even say that, are never seen at their property.
Yeah.
Now, I'd never seen their property. I never took the trouble to drive by it. And it just got worse. It just kept going on. Here's a couple of bad ones. They turned my quote into, we are sick and tired of you. Neighbors asked Sussex to depart. Then it was, forced to sell £11 million home over angry neighbors. That's me outside with a pitchfork and a torch.
And a placard. Leave home.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Did you get back in touch with that reporter?
He was supposed to get back in touch with me. I haven't heard from him again.
I bet. In the article, you mentioned that there was some, obviously, criticism over that. And you basically tried to, give explanation. I mean, what was that like? Was that on Twitter? How was that?
It was ridiculous. I mean, I was getting excoriated in Twitter. I mean, absolutely.
By whom? What were they saying?
Well, they were saying things, get their names out of your mouth, you fraud, you phony, you public. It was like, hey, I just answered a question.
Yeah, okay.
I tried to be accurate. I tried to be honest.
And this was obviously from the fans of Meghan Markle then?
It was fans of Meghan Markle, which is fine. I don't mind, they're fans of Meghan Markle. And I don't blame them for being upset, because the things I supposedly said, I hadn't said.
Yeah.
The problem was when I corrected it and I wrote that and I tried to correct it.
Yeah.
It made it even worse.
And a lot of what we talk about, what I talk about, is basically based on the British media just totally distorting everything and just creating. I mean, there are so many so-called. I mean, you are now a royal source, aren't you? You're an insider. You're an expert. You're an expert.
On Pakistani TV, I am a renowned royal expert. Not just your run-of-the-mill royal expert. I don't know anything about the royals. As I pointed out at the end of the article, I had to ask my wife, which one is William? I mean, I don't know anything about these people.
I mean, I'm not sure what the press is like where you are, obviously, when it comes to Meghan and Harry. Are they in the press a lot? Do you hear about them a lot? Or?
I think they were initially.
Okay.
And in the United States in general, yes. They are a big, big deal.
Okay.
And again, I think it's the royal thing, the prince and the commoner.
Is it a positive press or a negative
generally
press?
Here, I think it's positive. Now, there are a lot of people who I was surprised by how negative it seems to be in the UK.
Yeah.
But here it seems to be generally positive. People like the fairy tale thing.
So there you have it. How great was that conversation? And like I said before, it is considerably longer, so you can go and check it out. I highly recommend it.
The royal family live in limitless privilege. There's no other way to describe it, and they're so far disconnected from the normal average British citizen who is also a taxpayer that it's incredible. Our normal daily lives are so far removed from that limitless privilege, you can't really compare them. We are not on the edge of our seats waiting for a BBC News alert or a BBC television programme to tell us an update on King Charles's health. Having said that, rest of the world, just so you know, Brits are kind generally. We would not wish ill on anybody else, and we certainly wouldn't want them to leave this planet before it was their time, if that makes sense. This sycophantic drivel from the BBC absolutely grinds my gears, to say the least. What do you think? The comments are open. King Charles does not work that much. Even when he was well and healthy, he did the absolute minimum to get by, leading a family that we should all look up to, but we don't. The decades where the streets of London were lined with flag-waving children greeting the Queen, they're all gone. The removal and the disjoint between royal life and normal UK citizen life is that big, we just don't care anymore. We need a public vote on whether the royal family is appropriate for 2024, and actually we need a public vote on whether they are actually a family to be looked up to, because we all know that often, in fact mostly, they are not.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.